Okay, this is our daily study of Pirkei Avot, the Mishnah Ethics of the Fathers, in honor of those who have yahrzeit for tonight, the 17th of Av. Charlotte Abrams, Julius Berman, Helen Lesky, Albert Margolin, Martin Nierenberg, Becky Sarcer, Todros Shane, Fania Stein, and Rose Waldner. May their memory be for a blessing. A link to the text in the Mishnah will be in the first comment below. We're up to chapter 5, Mishnah 20. Yehuda ben Tema Omer. Hevi az kanamer v'kal kanesher v'ratz katzvi v'gibor ka'ari la'asos ritzon avicha shebashamayim. Yehuda ben Tema said, "Be bold as a leopard, light as the eagle, swift as the deer, and mighty as the lion, to do the will of your Father in heaven." Hu haya omer, he also used to say, Az panim legehenim uboshes panim legan eden, Yehir tzom ufanecha Adonai Eloheinu shetivna yirach bimher v'yameinu v'sein cholchen v'sorasecha. The shameless are for Gehenim, meaning hell. The bashful are for Gan Eden, meaning heaven. May it be your will, O Lord our God, that your city be rebuilt speedily in our days and grant us our portion in your Torah. So he ends with a prayer, which is interesting. We'll have to come back to that because this is the only Mishnah in the whole corpus of the Mishnah that ends with a prayer. So we'll get back to that in a moment. But starting from the beginning, Yehuda ben Tema said. So the commentaries provide a beautiful synopsis of what is meant metaphorically by these choice of these animals. Be bold as a leopard. So the Baal HaTurim says, I like this interpretation, you have to be bold to be Jewish because people constantly mock our observances. We look weird. I always say on Sukkot, especially when you're shaking the lulav in shul, you've got a palm and a little lemon in your hand, the esrog, and might have a tallis over your head, and we kind of look weird. People make fun of Jews for the things that we do. So you have to be bold as a leopard to be proud to be Jewish. Light as the eagle. So here the Bartanura says to run away from sin. You have to fly away from sin like an eagle. Swift as the deer, that's to run toward the good, which is interesting, right? When it comes to escaping sin, it's like faster and more fleet. Like the eagle you have to literally fly away. But when it comes to running towards something, that's the deer, which is like strong and runs fast. It's interesting. So that's to run toward um, that which is good, mitzvahs. And finally, mighty as the lion. That's to conquer your passion, says the Bartanura. You're to conquer your evil urges. Okay. So, but he also used to say that the brazen will go to hell. So the commentary here of the Meiri says that he's qualifying something he said in the previous section because he started out by saying, "Be bold as a leopard." But then his next statement says, "But people who are shameless go to hell." That's his way of saying, don't be too bold. Be bold in serving God and being proud of being Jewish and be proud of our observances. But then he qualifies, but people who are bold in the sense of arrogant in general, not for a good cause, will go to hell. And, so many of the statements in the Mishnah might be a little euphemistic, but, and the bashful, but those in general, those who are humble will go to heaven because they have the right character traits. Moment. So, and then he ends with a prayer. May it be your will, O Lord our God, that your city be rebuilt, meaning Jerusalem, speedily in our days and grant us our portion in your Torah. So the Kahati says, apparently this is where Pirkei Avot used to end. So we could stop here. We could say we finished all of the original Pirkei Avot, because this is chapter 5, the second to last second to last chapter. As we'll see, the whole chapter 6 was added later, and apparently the last few Mishnahs of chapter 5 even were added later. We have, well, how many left? 1, 2, 3. We have 3 Mishnahs left in chapter 5. Those were tacked on later, and as was all of chapter 6. So we basically finished the original Pirkei Avot, which is nice. That's an accomplishment in of itself. And so he ends with a prayer, which is really, or we ended with a prayer. Whoever perhaps redacted the Mishnah, Rabbi Judah the Prince, Rabbi Yehuda Nasi, included that. So, but anyway, we still have a few more Mishnahs to go for the entire Pirkei Avot, as it ended up coming down to us. Okay. With that, we will say the Malay. El malei rachamim shelchein bamiro mimamitzei menucha nechon al kanfei hashechina b'malos kadoshim mitahorim kazor harakia mazhirim es nishmos kalas karos shel halayla shel chuli olamam ba'avur shemispalim bad haskaras nishmasam v'gan eden tehem menuchasam lachein bala rachamim yastireim b'seiser kenefav liolamim yitzor b'tzor chaim es nishmasam Adonai nachlasam v'yanuchu b'shalom mishkvasam v'nomar amen. And in English, O God, full of mercy, who dwells on high, grant proper rest on the wings of the divine presence, in the lofty levels of the holy and pure, who shine like the glow of the firmament, for the souls of Charlotte Abrams, Julius Berman, Helen Lesky, Albert Margolin, Martin Nierenberg, Becky Sarcer, Todros Shane, Fania Stein, and Rose Waldner, in whose memory we study and pray. May their resting place be in the Garden of Eden. Therefore, may the Master of Mercy shelter them in the shelter of his wings for eternity. May he bind their soul in the bond of life. Hashem is their heritage. May they rest in peace. And let us say Amen.